Hello and welcome to our very first edition together of Drinking Juice with Justin and Michelle. Just as an introduction, I have been teaching yoga for about 8 years now, and I really love it because it's been so healing to me. And I feel that I really love helping myself and other people around me. And I really want to share how, for me and the people around me, how we try different things to help ourselves and each other heal with all the different methods that are available.
Yeah, well, one thing that I've learned is in order to grow, you have to be in discomfort, get
That's true.
uncomfortable in order to grow. So great introduction. I'll introduce myself. My name is Justin Nash, and I am originally from Miramichi. However, I'm living in Dieppe at this time, and I am the founder of this company called Never Give Up. And Never Give Up is a clothing brand that supports mental health and addiction. So my goal is to really break the stigma around mental health and addiction, and also to provide resources for those people that are struggling. I really want to help those in need.
And I think start conversations too. Like, I feel like you're really good at going around and meeting new people and talking about it. And it really opens people up to different ideas and different things that each other has shared, maybe.
Yeah, I kind of like to be, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a guinea pig. Like I love connecting with people and I love trying new things. So I really have to give thanks to my sister. My sister carried on. I credit her for saving my life by introducing me to holistic healing. Um, I thought, like if most people do that, hey, you're crazy. Like, how does this actually make any sense? Like, oh, your thoughts create your reality. Like,
Right.
come on now. Like, this is woohoo,
Yeah,
whatever, right? And
definitely.
so I definitely had that mindset for a long time. But my struggles with mental health and addiction, I have a lot of experience in that. Like, I suffered for a long time. And, it's really when I got introduced to this that it started to change.
Right. I've noticed too that, well, I, like you, say 10, 15 years ago, if somebody would have told me, you know what, Michelle, love's going to change the world, I would have kicked them or something. I don't know. I would have been like, what's wrong with you? But honestly, if you really think about it, sharing the experiences and allowing for people to try experiences that are holistic and healthy, and they get that spark that can help them heal in some way. It's just showing people love. And the more people try that,
Andy, come.
the more people try that, the more patience and loving connections you make. And I just find like there's just so much harmony and there's less stress around.
Yeah, and I mean, just to kind of go off of that as well, I remember, I'm not sure exactly how many years ago, but I met this woman, spiritual woman, and I went there for healing. And she said to me, she goes, "Do you know what the answer is?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "L'amour." She
Right.
said it in French, right? And
Yeah.
she said it's love. And I said, "Okay. So what else?" She's like, "No, that is the answer."
Just that.
And for the longest time, I thought she was crazy.
Well,
I
when
was like,
we're
"What do
not
you?"
ready for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now looking back, I was like, she was 100% right.
Yeah.
But what I've what I now understand, it's not love for everyone, because I've always loved everyone, but I always struggled to love myself.
That's true. And
And
that's
it
where it starts.
wasn't until I found love for myself that shit started changing.
Right. Yeah. And it doesn't mean love everybody in the sense that we think right off the bat organically, until you realize that just what it means is treating people with love and respect and treating yourself with love and respect. And that's really all that it is at the end of the day. And that just goes forward through people. And suddenly you have so many more people just treating themselves well and others well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. And it is that simple. Like it really is. So
Yeah.
I find with life, things that are so simple, we don't understand. Like
Yeah,
we want to overcomplicate things,
that's true.
and really love is the answer. So I like
Yeah.
how you brought that up, because that really means a lot to me. So yeah, guys, we don't really have much of an agenda today, other than really just talking about our intentions. So, why would Justin and Michelle come together and make a podcast? Like, who wants to do that? What we want to be famous and rich? No, that's not it at all. We have two intentions. I'll let Michelle start off with the first one.
Right. So for me, so I have PTSD. I have anxiety issues that are much more in control. My PTSD is very much in control compared to years ago.
What is your background, Michelle? What did you do before you got into yoga?
Well, I've worked in corrections for near 2 decades, and after a while, it really did take a toll on me. And among that, I mean, I was raising children, I was dealing with the regular life issues, but I was also going to work in a place that, after a time, it really does take a toll on a lot of people, and it definitely did on me. I was so anxious that honestly, I could barely handle it. It was devastating, and I noticed that even with dealing with people, with dealing with my kids, I wasn't reacting like my old self anymore. And that's not who I wanted to be. And then this random day, a friend of mine, after I had my third kid, she said, "There's a new studio. Do you want to go do yoga?" And I hadn't done yoga in probably, I don't know, 15 years or something. But I was like, yeah, I think I still like that. So I went to this yoga class. And when I came out of it, I was like, wow, actually I feel really good. And I had like a really stressful meeting right after yoga, but I was like, wow, I'm dealing with this oddly well. And so right away for me, it was like a bit of a spark or a click that I was just like, okay, I need this. So I kept doing the yoga. And then after a while, I was doing some at home and like doing a little bit of meditation. And then I decided to become a yoga teacher. And then that really kind of got the ball rolling because I was interacting with people more and seeing that there's all these healthy people out there that I get to hang out with and teach classes. And then I took more training. And one of them was very meditation oriented.
Hmm.
I have ADHD. I was like, I can't meditate that much. Like
I was
it's really
diagnosed that too.
yeah. Well, and I was like, I think I'm going to hate that part of that training, but I loved it. I was like, whoa, I sat there like an hour, I think. My legs are numb.
Right.
What's happening? But it just actually, for me, it was just a huge change. So that's a big, long story to say.
Yeah, what was the intentions behind this?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So after a while, I was like, hey, you know what? I think a lot of people around me have had big struggles. However, I can see the ones that are doing the work and it's working and they're changing and they're well.
Mm.
And so that's where for me, I started thinking I'd like to do a podcast because I'd like for these people that are doing so well despite all the trauma or the hard times or whatever it was,
Right.
to be able to share with other people what they're doing, how they're healing, what is it, what's the key for them so that other people can see, well, maybe yoga is not the thing for me, but maybe this breath work is, or maybe this just exercise routine, or maybe sitting in the woods or whatever it is, because it's different for everybody.
Right.
But once you start trying different things, you learn more about yourself, and then you get more respect for yourself too, for making the effort. You feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to, again, I'll use the word probably piggyback a lot here. I'll try not to. But when you said the work, right? So a bit of my background with mental health issues, really depression was huge for me.
Yeah.
And often people would say, well, just do the work. And it pissed me off so much, because I'm not scared of work.
Yeah.
But what is the work? Like, what is it that I should do? Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I really struggle. And people just kept saying, oh, well, you can't just sit around and be depressed. You got to do the work. Well, fuck, what is the work? Right. So, now being more open and trying new things, I'm realizing And one that you said that really resonates with me is the breath work.
Yes.
So, I am not a person to sit as a yogi in a chair and meditate for an hour. However, if I start doing breath work, I can get into that meditative state where I can just be, and
Right.
it slows the thoughts down. So for me, I like hard learnings. I like to do hard work and then see what the results are. So breath work is a huge one for me. And so another intention of ours is to bring on practitioners. So with Never Give Up, not only are we a clothing brand, but we also have a website that we are growing, what I call the NGU Hub. And the hub has holistic practitioners. And what I mean by holistic practitioners is people who want to help you, people who want you to thrive in life. And it's part of the mind, body, and the soul. So, from my understanding and my teachings, when you are in balance with those three elements, you live a much more peaceful, blissful type of life. So, as I sit here today, I can honestly say my life has changed 360 degrees, then did a 180. And, this started in 2018 and we're now 2024. So 6 years of trying different things, meeting different people, and, making connections that it wasn't easy. Like, trust me, it's not and again, with my sobriety too, like, my alcohol addiction, my drug addiction, my gambling, porno, like addiction. And I mean, we'll get into that in another episode because, a lot of people think that drugs and alcohol are the addictions and those are the people that need help. But what about all the other addictions that
Well,
people don't see?
there's many.
Or don't want to think that's an issue, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll leave that for a later date. But that's the other intention, is bringing on these practitioners who have helped me personally. Those are the ones that I really want to start off with, and that's the same with my hub. I don't go around knocking on doors and trying to get people to come on the hub. It's all organic. So these are people that I've connected with. These are people that I trust. Like I can name off 6 probably right now who without them, I'm not sure I would be here. And it's just absolutely amazing. I feel that they need to be recognized or they need to be talked about, and they need to explain themselves for what they are able to do,
Right.
like
Yeah.
showcase those types of people, because I've tried the traditional counseling. I had, a few good counselors. I have one really good one who really helped me out. I've had a couple others that, definitely, I'm not saying counseling's bad.
Right.
I'm not saying medication is bad. There's always a time and a place. But what I'm willing to do is I'm willing to share my dirty laundry in hopes to help somebody out there that needs it.
Yeah, and that's important. I do the same. Like, I have no problem speaking about PTSD and anxiety and all of those things with people just because it's so much easier for the other person to maybe find a way to open up if they haven't yet, and maybe even accept what's happening and understand more what's happening to them. I actually think too, like where you're telling everyone how your experiences go with different practitioners, it's really going to help people try things, because I've noticed with yoga, even people are nervous to try things, especially if it's their first go at like a holistic type healing or activity or what it may be. So by telling people what to expect, I think you're really making people feel a little more comfortable to kind of, put themselves out there and try something new.
Yeah. Yeah. I know a lot of people have come to me when I share things and they're like, well, what is that about?
Yeah.
Once they finally get the courage or I get to know them a little bit better. And so I would like to put it out there, guys, that I am available. You can find me on social media. You can find my cell phone number on my webpage, or you can contact me multiple ways. I'll get into those details at some point, but I am willing to help. So if you have questions, please don't be shy. Don't be scared. I am very I like to think approachable. Maybe some
Yeah,
others may not,
yeah.
but I really feel approachable, and I really am willing to give you my opinion. And that's all it is. I'm no professional. I like to tell people that I feel 20 right now, but I have 25 years experience. So that doesn't make sense. 21 years because
Yeah.
I will be 41 this year. So yeah, I feel 20, but I have an extra 20 years experience. There we go. That's
There
what
you
I
go.
wanted
Yeah,
to
that
say.
sounds. It's better math for sure. It's better math.
Math's not my strong point.
Mine either. Same here. I have a Facebook page. It's Chasing Zen Wellness. You can message me from there, or I have Chasing Zen Yoga on Instagram. So if you have questions about anything that I can help with, send me a message, and I have no problem answering or giving information or advice or whatever it is I can do. I am also not a professional, but I mean, I'm here to help if I can.
Yeah, so I don't know if we need those types of disclaimers and stuff. I'm not big into legalities, but
Well, no, but
just know that we're everyday people living an everyday life, and we just want to fucking help. That's all. Like we're not here to tell you what's right or wrong, because there really is no right or wrong. It's just us sharing our experience, and you can take it for what it's worth. I will put in the show notes a link to your pages,
Right.
a link to my pages. And really, guys, feel free to reach out. We really would appreciate it. And I didn't introduce Andy. He's a little bit tired right now. I had him up at pretty early this morning. So Andy's my mini poo, and you'll probably see quite a bit of him because he's pretty much my best friend right now.
Yeah, a little sidekick.
Little sidekick, yeah. And so I think probably we could wrap up our first episode, and we will look forward to our next one, which we will have a guest.
Yes. Guest.
Who's that guest going to be?
Well, I thought your sister, perhaps.
Maybe my sister. I never
have to
really
talk
asked
about
her
it.
yet, but I'm sure she would love to come on. So yeah, we don't have an exact date, or we haven't confirmed who will be our first guest, but that will be a surprise. So that'll keep you waiting. So
Yes, stand by.
we'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to listen to us. And with that being said,
Have a great day.
peace,
Bye.
love.